Ahoy! You be listening to the GrogTrip's review of Game of Thrones. Yarr!
Hello everyone, welcome to GrogTrip review of Season 4
Season 4?
Season 2, Episode 4, a review of what's it called, The Garden of Bones.
Yep, of Game of Thrones.
My little quote, can you guess what my little quote is at the start of the episode? It's from Bronn.
There's no cure for being a
Yes, there's no cure for being a
words to live by.
Yeah.
He's a wise man, that Bronn.
And then this time we got 2 new locations on the intro map.
Did we? I only saw one. What was it?
First of all, we got Harrenhal,
Oh, okay.
which, the big, massive, ruined city.
Yeah.
And then we're in the east, we got Karth.
Harrenhal isn't a ruined city, it's a ruined castle.
Well, city, castles.
And it was built by a king, but then Aegon the Conqueror set his dragons on it and melted it with dragon fire, essentially. The walls did nothing.
Exactly. I like the very start of this episode, whereas those Lannister men, they sounded like the fanboys. Just some random guys talking about who's the best fighter.
Like comparing, what was it? The Mountain, the Kingslayer.
Loras Tyrell.
And everyone seems aware that Loras and Renly are together. Even Lannister men, who are nowhere near Renly or anything.
Yeah, they get attacked by Robb and his men.
How do you think they get gossip without the internet, or TV, or radio?
Like taverns,
Yeah.
like pubs.
Inns, and then from travelling men. But they might get, Chinese whispers.
You can't say Chinese whispers.
What?
Racist.
What do we call it now?
Whispers, just whispers.
Just whispers.
A deviation, I think, from the book is what seems to be Robb's potential love interest. This lady who was on the battlefield, sort of like a nurse going around helping people. She is not the same person as in the book, right?
No, she's not. This is around the time that Robb meets a new love interest in the book, but definitely not a nurse on the battlefield. And to be honest, from this initial meeting, I have no idea how he would like her or she would like him, or it was just pretty traumatic, the whole encounter.
Well, you could tell from the first time you saw her that she wasn't just extra, that she was going to be some love interest. She was too good looking.
Too good looking, and the camera spent too much time on her.
Then we go to Joffrey and Sansa.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Joffrey and Sansa. Sansa on her knees and Joffrey pointing a crossbow at her face.
Yeah, Joffrey's being a real little dick, getting Sansa stripped naked.
I think I've said this before, but I do not need them to make me hate Joffrey any more than I already do.
I like hating Joffrey, it's fun.
Someone to really hate.
Stripped, stark naked.
It's very good.
Yeah. And Tyrion comes in to save the day.
He marches in with Bronn and pretty much gives Joffrey a metaphorical slap in the face. He can't actually reach, but he would slap him.
And then Joffrey gets even worse, because Tyrion decides he might sweep him in by sending him a few prostitutes. But Joffrey, he's not very clever, but he sort of sees through that, and it's pretty unpleasant, really.
No, isn't it Bronn's idea originally? He was like, maybe, let a bit of the evil out of him, send him a couple of girls.
That's how it works, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's all pent up with, teenage hormones and rage.
So if you send a 15-year-old boy 2 prostitutes, what kind of maniac then gets them to beat each other?
Yeah, while aiming a crossbow at them.
And then what was that weird pointy stick thing?
What is it that the Queen holds? She holds an orb and a rod? Scepter. He gives it to one of the prostitutes and makes her beat the hell out of the other one. Yeah.
Do you think it was for beating her?
I did think that when he handed it to her quite carefully.
It's even worse, I think.
Yeah, from the sound effects I guessed it was beating. It was the crowned stag of Baratheon. I don't think it would have been very comfortable.
Oh, what, the stick, yeah.
Yeah. They send Littlefinger to treat with Renly, don't they?
That's right, and he tries to sweet talk Marjorie Tyrell, but she's having none of it.
Not so much sweet talk, as he's doing his blatant implying again. He's just saying I hear the king enjoys your brother. How do you feel about that?
Say it. And you get the same result, right? Your brother's a pug.
Hey, come here. Your brother's gay. That would have been funnier. And then he does his little smirk afterwards and winks.
I think Arya has some interaction with some pretty unpleasant people this episode.
Oh yeah, so we see Arya and Hot Pie and Gendry all arrive at Harrenhal after they are kidnapped.
And they're being questioned by the Mountain's men.
Yeah, I don't think we learn his name, but in the book he's called the Tickler, the Torturer.
Yeah, there was an interesting slight rip-off of something from, funnily enough, Too Fast, Too Furious. Did you spot it?
Was it the bit with the rat?
Yes, Too Fast, Too Furious, when like the bad guy is mad at someone, they put a rat in a bucket and hold it against the guy's stomach, and then heat up the bucket so the rat has to like try and gnaw at the guy's stomach to get away.
Oh, I remember that from the movie now that you mention it. But I like the Tickler. It's such a good name for a torturer. I tickle you to death. Doesn't sound so menacing when you say it that way.
Mr. Tickle.
Here comes Mr. Tickle. Come to get you.
Then we have there's the interaction between Renly and Stannis. They come face to face. In the book, wasn't there something to do with a peach?
Renly's just like eating a peach while they're talking with like, and the book is really descriptive about like the juice dribbling down his chin. He's like, and there are many more in Highgarden. Like all these men brought some fruit for me. Like all these 100,000 men. So
right, yeah, because people from Highgarden are sort of like fruit, right?
yeah, there's some simile is made, but we've missed quite a few bits where they've diverged from the book. Yay! So basically, again, they've just skipped loads out. They've chopped the unnecessary bits from the book, I think.
They're not unnecessary bits from the book.
No, but the story still holds together without them. The bit with Arya has been massively shortened, I think, and she's already arrived at Harrenhal. Tywin Lannister does not appear at all. It's one of Tywin Lannister's like commanders or something. A lot more drama in Harrenhal, but I guess they just don't have time for that.
No, who'd have thought Tywin Lannister would be like a good guy in this episode?
Yeah, he seems really nice so far.
Saves the day.
He's a very famous actor, isn't he? The guy playing Tywin.
I think he is quite famous. Yeah, I recognise him. Yeah, I like Hot Pie.
Why?
I do. I just like his face.
He's got a lovable. He looks kind of all squished up, like an angry pig.
I know. I just want to squeeze his face.
What noise do you think he'd make if you squeezed his face?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It'd be funny if he was like Hodor and could only say Hot Pie.
He'd have double the vocabulary of Hodor. Hodor. Oh, I've just looked up the guy who plays Tywin. Can you think of anything else you've seen him in?
I'll know it once you said it.
Okay, well his name is Charles Dance.
I knew that. Yeah, I think he's more of a theatre actor, right?
I think so. No, he's been in a lot of TV. But I think he's best known for his role in Ali G in the House.
Of course, he did like the evil MP or something. He always plays evil characters, right?
Yeah, but I think that's because he's British more than anything. He's very British, isn't he? Who else do we see?
Daenerys. We see Daenerys again.
Daenerys, yeah.
She's moved on through the desert and is now in Car.
Yep. They've skipped a big bit from the book as well because she has a whole like pilgrimage through the desert.
That'd be boring though. I mean,
it is boring.
Arrives at Car and trying to be let in.
She's only got one Blood Rider now. Did the other one not come back?
Oh yeah, she sent off 3. One came back. Well, his head came back. The other guy, like Jogo, or Pogo, or Logo, something.
Drogo. No, he's dead. They're standing at outside the gates of Karth, and the 13 come and welcome Daenerys and her Khalasar to Karth.
Right. Well, why is Daenerys so reluctant to show her dragons?
Yeah, I was thinking that. All they want is to see her dragons to let her into the city. Like, she's going to die if they don't let her in. She at no point even thinks about showing them the dragons, really. She just shouts at them until they let her in.
They could just take them, right?
Yeah, they could just take them. It doesn't seem to make much sense. Maybe they're kind of afraid of her a bit. So getting back to Stannis and Renly on their meeting, they sort of decide they're going to have a battle. But the problem is, they don't actually say in the thing, they expect you to kind of know, but Renly has a huge army and Stannis has barely anyone.
I think they said quite a lot that Renly has bigger numbers. You know, that's why otherwise mathematicians rule the world.
Oh yeah. Which kind of is a nice metaphor, but doesn't actually make sense.
No, you're right.
If armies were bigger, if bigger armies always won, well, mathematicians would rule the world. There's definitely a misstep in logic from the one to the other.
There's a good scene I like today with another good Tyrion scene in King's Landing with Lancel.
Yeah, we meet another Lannister character who again was in the first series. He was Robert's steward? Or
Squire?
Squire, yeah, Squire.
Blonde and effeminate, and I guess while Jame's been locked up, Cersei's been having to make do with him.
Yeah, because he looks a bit like Jaime.
She's been sleeping around with him, and so Tyrion uses this to his advantage to get a pair of eyes on his side so he can spy on what Cersei's doing.
It is nice how Lancel strides in because he's a knight now, and he's on orders from the Queen, and he feels really powerful.
Yeah.
In about 5 seconds, he's on his knees begging Tyrion. Yeah. We haven't talked about is the
there's a bit before that.
Okay. What is that bit?
Stannis and Davos.
Oh, they have a little moment on a boat, don't they?
Yeah, so I don't think it's very clear necessarily to people who haven't read the books what they're talking about.
To me, if I hadn't read the book, I'd kind of assume it was like Brokeback Mountain crossed with Titanic.
Okay.
At that point.
Because it's two men on a boat.
Yeah, but they're having quite a deep conversation, aren't they?
It is nothing like either of those two films. they're talking about the little pouch around Davos's neck.
I've got one more little comment. Don't you think whenever Stannis talks in this, I just really want him to say, "I am Batman." Do you think he has the perfect voice for Batman?
He hasn't got an accent. He has a voice. He has the same accent as Robert Baratheon.
No, he definitely talks. He goes, "I am Batman. I have the rightful claim to the throne." Like that.
He has like a Northern English accent.
Kind of, but you can't really tell.
Alright, anyway, so Davos has a little patch around his neck, and it's got like his knuckle bones from one of his hands in there.
Yeah. Why did he get his fingers chopped off, Alex?
To atone for his life as a smuggler.
I see. But then why is he now working for Stannis?
Well, he had his hand chopped off, but Stannis allowed him to live because Davos saved Stannis.
So this was during the rebellion where Ned Stark and Robert Baratheon were fighting their way to King's Landing.
Stannis and his men are trapped in Dragonstone and they're like starving.
No, they were trapped in Storm's End.
Storm's End, that's right. Trapped in Storm's End and starving. They've run out of food and they're like eating rats and stuff.
And Storm's End is effectively, as Winterfell is owned by the Starks, Storm's End is owned by the Baratheons.
It's the seated house around it.
Yeah.
So Davos sort of goes in to save the day. He smuggles in like a secret entranceway, a load of onions, which keeps them going and saves their lives. So
Stannis only cut off the tips of 4 of his fingers.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
So he rewarded him by making him a knight, and so he's called the Onion Knight. But he also punished him.
Davos, he seems more interesting in the TV series than in the book.
Definitely. Davos is the most boring character in the book.
Because when you get to one of Davos's point of view chapters, say, Davos.
Yeah, you turn the page, and it's Davos.
Like, come on, Jon Snow. Come on, Arya. Damn it. Shit.
You play the Game of Thrones lottery. You lose.
You win or you get Davos.
Yeah. It's a good actor as well playing him. He's a good actor.
He's a good actor. And he's in lots of stuff.
Do you remember his name? He's got a famous name.
Liam Cunningham.
You're very good. This might be the biggest thing he's been in, apart from Clash of the Titans.
Well, this is better than that.
Oh yeah.
I think there's only one scene left to talk about.
There is the finale, which is just weird. You know, when I was reading the book, this is one of only a handful of scenes, and I thought, how are they going to do that?
They did it quite well.
I think the answer of how they were going to do it was just blatantly and bluntly do it.
I thought they might have done it more sort of shadowy and not really seeing what was going on, but you see quite clearly sort of what's happening.
Basically, Stannis asks Davos to use his smuggling skills again to
smuggling skills.
Yeah, to essentially
rowing a boat.
It's rowing a boat, yeah. as I was watching, actually, I thought he's a pretty terrible smuggler. They're having a really loud conversation, and when they get there, he drags the boat out of the water over those really noisy pebbles.
Yeah.
They don't say it, but he's taking the same route into Storm's End that he did when he rescued Stannis. What's he doing, Alex?
Well, he's taking Melisandre,
Yeah.
the Red Priestess, in for some reason, we're not sure why. She's sort of being a bit flirty, saying, "Oh, you're going to see what's underneath the robe."
You want?
Bam!
You want to see what's under my robe?
She's got a big fat belly.
She has got a big fat belly. She's been eating all the pies.
And she didn't have a big fat belly whenever we last saw her figure a few days ago, maybe a week ago.
The last time we saw her naked.
Exactly, which wasn't 9 months ago.
It wasn't.
Some foul play.
They go in, the way is barred, isn't it? And Davos doesn't know what to do, but she just strips down, lays her cloak on the floor. She's pregnant, essentially. She lays down, spreads her legs, winks at Davos,
Yeah.
ushers him closer, then births a shadow, doesn't she?
Yeah, but basically the smoke monster lost. Yeah, claws its way out of her vagina.
Really creepy. And then it briefly stands up, doesn't it? And it looks kind of like a shadow skeleton, and then it just disappears, whatever it is.
I don't think it has good intentions.
Really? You don't think?
No, I don't think it's to be going around Storm's End like leaving pound coins underneath pillows.
And not hiding colourful eggs around for children to find?
No, of course not. There was a bit of nudity in this episode, but all of it was in quite horrible ways.
Yeah, it was. Like, Sansa basically being...
Sansa being like stripped and humiliated in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Prostitutes being forced to like flog each other.
Beat each other up, yeah.
And then a priestess giving birth to like a shadow demon goblin.
Well, there's a lot going to happen in the next episode, I think.
Well, I can think of one thing that's going to happen next episode. I don't want to say what it is.
Okay, right. Go on, you first. What are you going to give it?
There was a lot I liked in this episode. There's lots of good Tyrion action.
Yeah.
Joffrey being a dick. This would be a hard episode to watch with like someone who'd never seen it. Like, I don't know, say like your grandma was around.
She would wonder what the hell you're watching.
I think it's like really sick.
She would think you were messed up, really messed up.
Well, I think it was like really, well acted and high production values and everything. But yeah, it's a messed up episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 7.5. 7.5 demon babies.
Demon babies. Like that.
It did not make any sense.
Can you do a demon baby impression?
Okay, I'm gonna try.
I don't give a crap about the people who won't understand it. I think it was a really good episode, and I think it was better than last week. So, I'm going to give it... Oh, I know. So I want to give it 8.5 stomach rats.
I'd like to have seen more of the mountain.
Yeah, he kind of just walked up, said you, and then walked away, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't really seem that bad.
In the last episode, you made me beep the mountain. Like, bleep it out, didn't you?
Well, that's because I wasn't sure it was him.
Yeah. Oh. Next time you should trust me more. Well, that's it really, I think. We've gone drastically over our time as usual. There's so much more I want to discuss, but we don't have time. Everyone email us and ask us questions or comment on the video or something. See you next.
I'm just looking. Is the next episode? With the next episode after that, we'll be halfway through the season.
Oh, that's sad.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.